Hi, everybody. So, this is me, Michael Corsi, and this is my very first YouTube video. Um, I can't go live right now because there's something that I still have to learn more, and I am the king of distraction. I've been avoiding things in my life for a long time, but I decided that I'm no longer going to delay this any further, that I need to get going with this project. And my whole project and my whole message is self-love and self-empowerment. I figured what better way than just go through with it now in your car and just go with it. And that's what I'm doing. So I wanted to discuss a few topics tonight. I'm a smoker. I know I'm bad. Well, anyway, the topics I wanted to discuss is our history. So I am an American. I live currently in the city of Chicago. I was born in Niles, and I'm 37 years old. My life has not been easy. I did have a good upbringing, but I did struggle through a lot, and I will get into that in later episodes. Why are you watching me? Why do you care? That's a question I want to know. Now, most people gravitate towards experts or documents and all this other things, and what college you went to, what university you went to, what's your credentials. Well, I have credentials. I mean, I've run a business. I've also it wasn't my personal business, but I ran a deli for Jewel Food Stores, which was the second largest grocer in the city of Chicago. I worked for them for 13 years. I also worked for Costco Wholesale for 7 years. I've been I've worn many hats in my life. I also had a friend of mine that won American Idol back in 2010, named Lita Wise. I was on the show in the audience when he was top 7. And I was also interviewed by MTV News, and I was the only one of his friends that was at least stated publicly that he was going to win the whole thing, and I said that in January. I've been in terrible poverty for most of my life. I've struggled for everything I had to make. I've been a victim of sexual assault. I've been a survivor of sexual assault. I have been addicted to drugs for quite a few years. And I've been in countless rehabs, and I've been on medication for years, and I am no longer on medication, and I haven't been on medication for 2 years. And I've actually become more successful and more mentally stable, and I believe, and in my beliefs. And I've been posting on Facebook for some time now. Facebook was my social media outlet. I struggled with a lot of fear of what people would think of me, what people would say. And it stopped all of my dreams, and it stopped all of my progression in life because I was afraid of what others would think of me. When things started changing in this world of ours, where people were becoming more self-empowered, more self-aware, that was when I started to feel the message that you're enough. And I began meditating, and I turned to Hinduism philosophy. And what changed me to start believing in myself and to start moving forward with my desire to heal pain and heal addiction and heal the things that were plaguing my life for so many years was the idea that if you can heal yourself, you can heal others. You cannot be a wounded healer, as my mother once so put it. And I remember watching RuPaul's Drag Race, which was a famous show in America and in Canada, and now it's getting its Australian version and all these other versions, where RuPaul said something very inspirational. Now, I don't know RuPaul personally. I've never met RuPaul. I would love to meet RuPaul. I don't know if we agree on politics, but I can say this. RuPaul said something very inspiring to me. He said, unless they are paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind. Because his mother gave him the mantra, or the puspa, as he once put it so brilliantly, um, to do his life his way. And I never fit in. I never fit in life. And I tried everything to fit in. I was very smart as a kid. I got straight A's, I think, one time. But I noticed that I was teased for being smart. So then I started to dress more cool, get into trouble, because I just wanted to be accepted. And I dumbed myself down for years. And I squelched myself down for years because of what other people said of me. And I was so unhappy and so miserable. And when I struggled with that, I remembered I came up with this phrase. It doesn't matter what others think of you, only what you think of you. Only what you think of you. And if you know who you are, then nothing can bring you down. I know who I am. I've spent a lot of time alone. Now, I seem extroverted. I seem very outgoing, but the truth is I'm an introvert, very much so. I love alone time. Love it. This is my little safety zone. My car is my safety zone. I've been kneaded, stretched, pulled thin in every which way that you can imagine. I was always told that I was selfish. I was always told that I don't think of others, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is I feel on a very grand scale what people go through. And sometimes I don't even know if my emotions are my own. I don't, because I have that, I would cry when others would cry. It's very strange. It's called empathic. And it used to be just kind of like a, kind of like a conspiracy, spiritual, metaphysical kind of thing, if you want to be. And now it's starting to become actually a credible science that there are empaths. And I'm proud to say I'm one of them. I was always told I did things backwards, but in the end, I mean, when you look at it, it's like some of the stuff I didn't even know was working. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in your dreams. And what this channel is going to be, I know this is rough. I know it's just me sitting in my car. It's just me talking to you, but that's what got me noticed on Facebook. So I'm just going to go with that, and we're not going to change it. I mean, we can add on to it, but what I want to hear from you is basically what you'd like to see me do. Now, what my message is self-empowerment, self-love. Now, I'm going to be discussing politics. I'm going to be discussing religion, spiritual practices, magic. I am a white witch. And how to have magic in your life. Now, you may not believe in the same things I do, and that's okay. That's your right. But we can learn stuff from each other, as I've learned from so many others. And I'm hoping that this goes well. But what I would like to do and what I'd like to discuss is what would you like to see? What are issues that are plaguing you that maybe I can help and we can discuss? Let's be our own therapy. For years, I struggled in the mental health industry, getting diagnosed with different diagnoses. One told me I was bipolar. Another one told me I was manic depressive. Another one told me there's a disorder for everything. You chew gum too hard, I'm sure there's a disorder for that. It's like, okay, and then I finally discovered when I was on a YouTube, I was really depressed one day, and this guru came on my YouTube feed, and his name was Sadhguru, and he said, what is the one contract that we cannot break in life? And I'm like, well, I've listened to everything. I've tried everything. I've gone to AA meetings. I've gone to NA meetings. I've done searching for that missing piece that I was missing in my life. And I remember him saying, it's with the trees. And I'm like, I can't listen to a tree hugger right now. And just before I was about to click off on the video was when he said, no, listen. Without the trees, you can't breathe. The trees provide oxygen. Without breath, you can't bitch. And then he said something that was very profound, because now he got my attention. And this is out. I let it go too long. He said this: if all insects on planet Earth were extinct in 18 months, no life would exist here. If you don't believe that, you can fact check it. That's what Google's for. Google, or what I prefer to use now is DuckDuckGo, so they don't sell all your information. But I will say this: look up every single insect that you can think of that you think is just, no, that can't be right. Look it up and find what purpose it serves. Everything does have a purpose, and all lives do matter. Every life is precious. It's not up to you to decide whose life is better than others. It's not up to you. It's only one. And there's a good quote from a movie that I very internalized deeply called Beautiful Creatures. And she says, one of the seer, or she's called the seer, in this movie, this character, she says something very profound. She goes, God created all things. It's only humans that decide which ones are the mistakes. You're not a mistake. If you weren't born to fit in, don't fit in. And if you want to know how to do that, I will show you, and I won't charge you millions of dollars for it. I believe everybody has the right to live a life without pain, without having to pay money to someone. I believe that's your God-given right to be free from pain. And I'm going to do that. But I will say this: if you can help me, I will help you. So if you do feel in a mood of generosity, then I do strongly suggest that you leave a donation or something, and I'll provide my PayPal account to where I could see this channel grow. I do want it, but it's starting off like this. This is how I'm starting it. It's in my car, in someone else's driveway. I'm not homeless, by the way. But I am in the process of transitioning into moving into a house soon. So I'm staying with locals, wink, wink, to right now currently wait that time till I just get the credit to where it needs to be so I can purchase that home. But aside from that, what the YouTube donations are, what the YouTube donation is for, is to help expand my message, and